I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. It's gonna be a bright, sunny day. How you guys doing today? I'm here today, of course, and welcome, welcome to another video. Welcome to a video of learning, right? Being the heirs of our Father's what promise. You are loved. So welcome again to another video, and we're here to speak not about speculations but truth. All right, straight truth. So I want you guys to first thing, okay? First thing, right? Is to know exactly what the topic is about, and of course we're gonna be in Psalms 74, and the title is "Know How Your Enemies." Well, more like spot your enemies' acts. Okay, and of course we have the translation on how we impose ourselves in these situations and scenarios. So I'm gonna give you guys about 10 seconds to grab your biblioteca, your Bi-Ble. I'm gonna get right to it only because I don't want to make this video too long because my camera apparently is going to die. All right. Well, I don't like to use the word die, but it's gonna go into a slumbering death. Okay, until it gets recharged again and come back to life. But yes, it's been about 10 seconds. Let's just get started because I got things to really tell you guys that's gonna really help us today. Okay. It smells really good in here. I'm sorry. All right. O Master, have you left us for good? What have we done, us Israel, to anger you? Remember your people, those that stayed loyal to you, that you redeemed, Almighty One. Meddle in our affairs, which led us to destruction, all the way reaching the root to its cause and place. My enemies, oh yeah, before I get back to that, meddle in our affairs, which leads us to destruction, all the way reaching the root of its cause and place is basically, how can I say, like, go to the foundation, right, of what the problem is and help us through that by giving us either knowledge, by either guiding us, however that, Yahuwah would like for us to, understand these processes. For Elohim, he is our, guidance. He is our navigator. Basically everything that we need him to be and more. All right. That's what that means. Just whatever the root of the problem is, clear that off because that's obviously what's giving us stagnation. That's obviously what's confusing us. That's obviously what is our problem. So help us, deal with that or whatever else that's attached to that times 10. Okay? And if you would like to make this a prayer, make it a prayer. Because a lot of Psalms, a lot of chapters in Psalms, right, are mainly prayers. Is not everybody realize that they just think that it's just verses, but a lot of it is prayers. Because sometimes they might say hymn, yeah, and say a song of this, a song of that, but it's a prayer. Anything that's considered a worship or any type of praise is considered a prayer. There's just a difference, intimate prayer and just praise as far as giving thanks and gratitude, which is still similar, but intimate praise and worship is more so personal rather than, I mean, you can also still make the other one intimate, but it's just, you're gonna know the difference when you're already praying. Okay. My enemies shout among their people as they set traps ready to devour someone. Many can be uplifted and honored for the earnest of gratitude, but time brings change and evolution on concepts. Meaning, my enemies, they get up to go against me, And because time moves, they evolve on how they angle their attacks. Okay, let's continue. That's why they burnt the sanctuaries, a place where you reside in enjoy, right? Reside and enjoy. They know exactly our place of wisdom, our place of understanding, our place of strength, where we have power, where we get our power is a sanctuary. Think of it. Think of the sanctuary not just a physical place. If the church is our body, okay. My apologies. I had something stuck in my teeth. Alright, let me stop. They conjured animosity and planned to destroy us together, including the synagogues. Like I said, a power hold. We knew not how long this took, and we were missing many important people that served in church. So people of importance that had a very high lead in in the calling of leadership, helping the herd. Okay, my apologies again. So Ellie, how long will my enemies attempt to attack or continue to blaspheme your name? Ellie, why have you restrained from punishing them? For you are ruler, and your words exist as it did before, and they shall forever. For you divided the seas and smote the dragon's head in those seas. Leviathan, by the way, as I'm going to mention in the next sentence. Leviathan was deconstructed and became food and material for your people. Fights, swords, armor, shield, anything. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if they had planes back then. People talk about UFO all the time. We're not going to get into that, honestly. But yes, let's continue. You've shortened the source from which floods accumulate, from which dried many rivers. So it describes his power, how he stopped flood because he reduced the amount of where the source of water comes from. A lot of people don't know. If you believe in Christ and it tells you that there's a dome, right? Why do you think that? Why do you think that rain just happened? You think it's just because of precipitation, however you say it, right? Because the water molecules are condensed, and then because of heat, it dries up, and then it rises up, and then does all of these things, changing the ionic sphere in the air, and the molecules start rearranging themselves, and then rain comes, woo woo woo, thunder, lightning, shower of rain. Yes, particularly yes, that's a mechanism, that's a concept. But there's another reason that a lot of stuff happens. Remember the time of Noah. Water don't just move as a wave and just knock everything down. It could, right? It could destroy a whole lot of stuff. But if you let's just give it an aspect of what we can understand. If there are people, because remember when we talk about the book of Enoch, right? Because some people don't really read certain things because they either don't have any interest, or they just don't want to know. Same thing, but or they just never knew. Matter of fact, let me say it like that. Um, the book of Enoch, right? Now, it's not just in the book of Enoch; it's also in any Bible that is actually in a Bible, right? It tells you that angels, right, are giants. Matter of fact, they're not like they're giants, and I'm not talking about the size of a house, that's a regular house or a townhouse, right? I'm talking skyscraper high. So if angels are skyscrapers high, tall, big, right? Imagine their kids, if they had them, if they had some. It would be horrendous. It would be horrendous. So it couldn't just be water, because some of them, mind you, you're mixed not only human or whatever was considered man at that time, right? You're mixed with not etheric attributes. Let me just say non etheric attributes. if I could put it in a way where like us humans, us people, imagine it like this. You have a sphere, like a metallic sphere, iron sphere, right? The size of a marble, right? Circular sphere, whatever. You know what a sphere is. It's a marble and it's heated up, right? And you know when something is heated up, it's always red, right? So imagine that sphere is like your soul, right? Your non-etheric body, right? Your spiritual body, right? And because and that the fire that surrounds it, not just the red heat that the red radiation of the heat that shows on it, but the fire that surrounds it is eternal. And then now take that, right, and then throw it in water that basically is just supposed to adapt to it, right? Now mind you, water, there's a freezing point and there's a boiling point. What happens when water boils to a certain extent? It starts to create grams. It starts to create mass to a certain extent, right? So even if it's just a gram or or half a gram, and I'm not talking about, well, let's just use milligrams, right? What do you think happens then? It creates mass, a physical solid that can accumulate about thousands of millions of times to create some type of solid object. And what happens if that fire never extinguished and then it has something to cover and the fire and that spherical marble has something to cover it? What happens? It's mendable still. So it's able to move. It's able to move while it's still taking shape. Can you picture it? This is just the physical part. This is like a physical way for me to explain spirituality in a way that you can understand, right? Because we're all humans. Well, we're all people, right? A lot of us, hopefully, a lot of us are people, right? And how can I say this? We're all people, but if you have something that's mendable, right? That's able to take shape as it like as it's underwater. That means that there's more mass that is accumulating. Now remember in science they talk about heat rises, right? So if heat rises, why is it that when we're told that when we die we should let go of things, or when we want to elevate, or what's the word, yeah, elevate, when we want to elevate spiritually, right, we're supposed to let the physical things go? It's because we grabbed onto this physical mass which is considered the body, right? And everything that's in that water is already, it's an illusion. It's not even real. I hope you guys are really listening to what I'm saying. All right. um all right, it's not real. It's not real at all. Think about that. I'm gonna go back to that subject, but let's just finish this verse right here. I mean, I said verse right here. We got like 8 verses left. Let's continue. So it shows that day and night is yours for you to command the sun. Verse 17. The same way you prepared the edge of the earth in foremaking 4 seasons. Do not forget how the unbelievers rejected you and have blasphemed, blaspheming your name, Elohim. My apologies. Eli, do not show an abundant favor upon those that do wicked things, and forget not the counsel of those in lack that seek you truly. In respect, do not forget your promise, for the earth is full of darkness, and cruelty inhabits within it. Expose those wicked, and let them be ashamed for the sake of your people, heirs of your heirs of your heirs of your promise. Allow us to praise you. Well, of your people, heirs of yours. Allow us to praise you. So stand, Eli, and act on our belief, and watch the evil attempts of mine enemies. As you saw them forget not their voice, for they cause high uproars everywhere daily. That was a bar, but hey, we're not going to talk about that though. All right. So what is that? What is this saying? It's saying that there are a lot of people doing wrong, wicked things, and we should know, right? Well, we should know how bad they're doing the wicked things. Not just know this. It's not just towards Elohim, right? Because the moment you break any commandment, you're going against him. So even if it's against us, the heirs of his promise, they're still doing wrong. That's why we're told to love and have true love and walk in true love and not hate, because a lot of people are being controlled and a lot of people don't know it. That's why I'm very watchful. Some people might think they got me by a thread, but I'm really watching. I'm more so that type of person where I don't talk about everything because not everything needs to be talked about. I done talked to a lot of people about a lot of stuff, but it doesn't really change their mindset because I don't have that power to change their mindset. I only have the power of whatever I'm given as power and authority over to do and to manage. Not to control, to manage. Okay? So you guys need to be very careful on how you approach situations because it could definitely be a problem if you don't see it coming. So ask for diligence, ask for, visions, prophecies. If you want to, understand it is given unto us. So it's not wrong to ask. If it's important, ah, feel like yeah, that still hurt. That still hurt. Yeah, that still hurt. But hey, it doesn't matter. If you want to, right? You gotta understand how these things work. Because if you don't, you might let the wave hit you around a couple times. It's just gonna carry you away. Don't be like the blasphemers. Don't be. Don't be like the blasphemers at all. See, I get attacked regardless. Like right now, I'm getting attacked right now. You don't even know. That doesn't change the fact that I'm gonna do exactly what I'm supposed to do. Being on here and talking to you guys and letting you know exactly what you need to know. It's not gonna stop. I just want you guys to know that regardless, Yahuwah loves you. Always. 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 That's why he wants us to get close to him. He wants us to talk to him. Because how else are we going to gain? How else are we going to have the victory? And it's not even ours, but